All right, first and foremost, give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai Barakatham. Sincere greeting to the brothers and sisters scattered across the four corners, teaching this word with sincerity and charity. I'm Brother Phineas, Prince of Power Israelites. Short lesson. We got to come back and we have to discuss these things. This is just a short lesson on cooking on the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? On cooking on the Sabbath. It seems this is a trending topic in Israel right now. And I just wanted to bring a couple more precepts to the discussion. I think a lot of times these particular ideologies, or we have these slight differences just because we don't completely grind the text and get, squeeze all the understanding out of the text. And a lot of times that happens because of the King James, because of that old English. Sometimes we miss over words, we don't see certain words, and also just the, the itching ears and our hearts, the stony hearts that won't allow the correct understanding to be implanted in us, won't let that seed, the true seed, the sincere seed of the word be implanted in us. So I'm just throwing a couple other precepts to hope that we do see that we cannot do these things, that cooking on the Sabbath, it is a violation. It is a violation, and to see, because we gotta, we gotta carry out this law in spirit and truth. So we have to know the intent behind the law, and to truly understand what permits one to break the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? So we understand, and I'm going in this to that we have a basis understanding, that Israel has a base understanding on what violates the Sabbath. I say no cooking, no working, no buying, no selling, no kindling of fire. Okay, so we have these basic understanding. I think the Exodus 35:3, no kindling of fire. Now, the opposition to that, the opposing ideology to that, is that the cooking on the Sabbath the kindling of fire dealt with working. All right, someone who would go work with the kindling of fire. Now we got to understand too, when you have in that premise that they're out there in the wilderness, they don't have jobs. All right, manna is being provided to them. Okay, their clothes is not tearing up. All right, they're getting water from supernatural ways. All their provisions are coming from the Most High, and the Most High has proven us in this wilderness. So you can't say that these people, especially the ones who were gathering sticks, that they were just gathering sticks to go do some work. It wasn't no work really back then. No servile work for them to do. They weren't setting up markets. They were moving. Any other day they could have to move to a different location depending on if the cloud of smoke rose and whatnot. But anyway, sorry to get long-winded. Let's start with Exodus chapter 16 and verse 22. And it says, "And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread." We talking about the manna. They gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, "This is that which the Lord hath said." This is what the Lord is saying now. "Tomorrow is the rest of the Sabbath." Tomorrow is the resting period of the Sabbath. All right, it is a rest of the Sabbath. "Bake that which ye shall bake today, and sieve what thou shalt sieve, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning." All right, to be kept until the morning, which will start the day of rest. All right, just start your rest. So bake what you shall bake for tomorrow. Bake what you shall bake to lay over for you for tomorrow. All right, you bake twice as much, gather twice as much, because tomorrow is the rest. So if tomorrow is the rest, when he's telling you to bake what you shall bake, he's telling you that because baking and soweth and sieve shalakia is a violation of the Sabbath. All right, it's a violation of rest. That text alone tells you that it's a violation of rest. If he's telling you to bake what you shall bake, for tomorrow is the rest, because you can't do it tomorrow, because it's a violation of the rest of the holy Sabbath. All right, that should be clear. That should be clear that is a violation. But just in case it's not, because of course we know that the priests, that's another one, that the priests, they were able to cook, you know what I'm saying, on the Sabbath. They had to give these certain sacrifices, at the evening sacrifice, the morning sacrifice. They had to do these things, right? And this is how they ate. Let's look at Matthew chapter 12 and verse 5. Let's speak on that. All right, let's speak on that. And this is when Yahushua is being blamed. One of the disciples ate some corn, grabbed some corn and ate it. He didn't cook it, he just grabbed the corn and ate it. And the Pharisees are saying, hey man, that man has broke the Sabbath by grabbing that corn. And we had several examples of the breaking of the Sabbath. I'm not going to get into those other examples just for time purposes, but the healing on the Sabbath, Yahushua had to explain that, why it's good to, why it's okay to do good on the Sabbath. But the brother picked up the bed, and the Pharisees were like, well, dang, you can't be picking up a bed. And it's a reason why they had this particular understanding, and set in these certain fence laws, or the halakha. They set in these certain laws to say, hey man, you can't be doing this, you can't be doing that. And they got stricter and stricter because they had an understanding. If they had the understanding that you could do what you wanted to do on the Sabbath, that the Sabbath is your day and you can do whatever you want, or you can cook and you can do. If they had that understanding, they wouldn't have been so strict. They wouldn't have been so strict about somebody picking corn, about somebody grabbing furniture and picking it up. All right. So they were weary about that. And this was a serious matter because you were to be put to death. Let's look at Matthew chapter 12, verse 5, since we got that little context. It says, matter of fact, we'll start at verse 3. But he said unto them, have you not read what David did when he was hungered, and they were with him? How he entered into the house of God and did eat the show of bread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only the priests. All right, now here's the cut. Or have you not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath? Right? Profane the Sabbath. The priests profane the Sabbath. Watch what Yahushua is saying. The priests profane the Sabbath. So what they did in doing those sacrifices was a violation of the Sabbath. They did profane the Sabbath, but they remain blameless. All right, but they are blameless. Now watch this. But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. Now we understand that they remain blameless because of their service to the temple. Their service to the temple. The Most High required that they do a morning and evening sacrifice, and they did these things in service to the Most High. And Christ is saying here, Yahushua is saying here, there is one greater than the temple. So there's one greater than the temple. This disciple is in service to someone that is greater than the temple. He has a greater role than the priests have inside of their temple because they're serving someone who's greater. And so if the priests are blameless, this man surely has to be blameless who is just grabbing some corn. But the priests did profane the Sabbath. And this brother did also, this disciple did also profane the Sabbath. But he remains blameless because he's in service to someone that is greater than the temple. He's in service to the Messiah. Watch this now. Let's read that verse 6 again. But I say unto them that in this place is one greater than the temple. But if you have known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the guiltless. This disciple is guiltless for doing that, because he's doing it in service to the Messiah. And I'll leave with this one last precept. I don't know, we have these discussions, but we never go here. And maybe I'm reading this wrong, or maybe I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So hit the comments if I'm exegeting this wrong. Isaiah 58:13. It says, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasures, nor seeking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. So if you turn away your foot from doing your own pleasure, speaking your own words, doing as thou wilt on the Most High's holy Sabbath, and you call this Sabbath, you treat the Sabbath a delight, all right? You shall take it as a delight, and find it honorable. The Most High will feed you with the heritage of Jacob. But you're not supposed to use this. You're only blameless in your service to the Messiah. This is not something that you're blameless because you're sitting at home and you're using the Most High's rest to have some feast at your house. All right, or to invite your friends over and y'all have a feast. It's a Sabbath day. You can just do what you want to do. It ain't about you. All right, it's not about you. And so we have to understand this. It is about you. This rest, it was made for man. All right, for you to rest, and you violate that rest. All right, Shalaki, you violate that rest by doing those things and doing your pleasures. So that's the only way you to permit this thing. And it's one last defense I see people say, that the Sabbath was a holy day because it was in Leviticus. It's a feast day, Shalakia, because it's in Leviticus 23. These are these feast days that I've listed, but the Day of Atonement is also in that list. If you use that methodology, that because it's listed in the holy feast days, the Day of Atonement, which is a 24-hour fast, is also listed there, and that methodology would not it will not fit, and it'll be shaky, and you'll have to throw that out. So don't use that. And I hope this was edifying. I hope you go back, and like I say, if you disagree with anything, feel free to hit the comments, and maybe we can get some clarity on this thing. And that Isaiah 58:13, like what does that mean? Turn thy foot from doing thy own pleasures. All right, and if you call his Sabbath a delight, see, a lot of people not calling it a Sabbath delight because you can't cook. You calling it grievous because you want to eat some KFC and some Popeyes, right? Because you want some fajitas and some fresh tacos, right? You want to do as thy wilt. You want to use that day that you done called off work, that you done told these folks, you done put in work, you done gave these folks a letter saying for work prohibition, and you done told them you gotta serve the Most High, and you at the house doing making the Sabbath taco Sabbath. So with that, man, I'm gonna say shalom again. I hope it was edifying to the body, and these things you just have to discuss, man. I hope that was clarity gained. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.